Moving on to our next topic here. PAX East happened. It's over, right? It's done.
Think so?
Is it
today.
Yeah,
Today's the last day, I
Today's the
assume.
last day. We're recording this on Sunday, so today's the last day. Lots of cool things announced coming out. PAX East, like we talked about earlier, we were kind of chatting in the office. Really more indie stuff, I think, than you're not going to see a lot of huge titles drop at PAX. Like, oh man, did you see that? Oh, huge title. But then again, you get announcements, and we got a lot here. And we just got a list. We're not going to lie to you people like we're just pulling this. We have a list in front of us, so we're just going to go down the list here and talk about some stuff. Let's start with Outlast 2. We watched a little bit of that gameplay. I never played the original Outlast. My roommate did. It's that survival horror kind of feel to it. We watched the gameplay. It was a guy in a cornfield with flashlights for 14 minutes or whatever it was, which looked, and we all agreed, looked super cool.
Beautiful.
All right, beautiful looking game. Did not see who was hunting him in that cornfield. Does that matter? What do you guys? Is Outlast something that you guys think you'll check out now based on the gameplay from Outlast 2?
I was hoping for a jump scare to kind of like I could get that adrenaline of that like scared feeling. I'm gonna have to see more gameplay or how it plays because like
It was pretty plain. It was just that one.
It looked
kinda
really good,
thing
but yeah.
over and over of him trying
Yeah.
to run away. But I mean, that's kind of the idea, I assume, of Outlast is to outlast the people chasing you with flashlights.
Yeah,
I mean, why don't they ever make like an Outlast like job version where you're trying to run away from your boss because you don't want to work?
It's the DLC.
You know,
it's
or
coming.
run away from your.
Which is like, because that's the game I would make, is Outlast from my job.
So it's
So
good thing your
I-
boss isn't here on this podcast.
I love my job.
Good thing Ryan isn't
I
here.
love my job.
just so everybody knows, Richard's current boss is also a guest on this podcast quite frequently, Homework Larry / Ryan Miller. So, and I'm sure he'll be listening. So I like that. Maybe you guys can make that in your spare time, a game where you run away from Ryan all the time.
You'll get a flashlight. It'll be great, man.
That's right. It'll be awesome. What do you think, Matt? I mean, you talked a little bit about how the camera effects when he pulled out the camera.
That was fantastic.
Those
The
were
night
awesome.
vision on the camera, that looked like legit. That was
Oh, yeah.
looked like real video, which was really, really cool. He did the thing where he hid in the water, which was pretty scary, and they had the water droplets on the lens, which was super legit. I can't imagine it's really fun to run around a cornfield with a camera up to your face.
Right, exactly. Who's got
Seems
that
a little
camera out
silly.
anyway? You know, it's like,
Why was
oh
that-
God, I'm running for my life. I gotta get this on film.
Why was that camera not damaged by the water?
Oh well,
waterproof
you know,
camera.
Richard, it's
It's
know,
a waterproof camera.
yeah, it's
Just-
water.
did they
Come on,
make
man.
those?
It's
Oh,
a
okay.
it's an
2006,
iPhone.
man.
It's an iPhone and a life proof case, dude.
I feel like
It looked like he
we
was
just
holding a.
set up a sweet sponsorship that we do not have.
It looked like he was holding a 2002 handheld camera
Hey.
my dad took with us on Disney World or something like
I'm
that.
kind of with Matt here. You could get hey guys, why did that camera not get it? Well, Richard, because it was the life-proof case for iPhone. You can buy one. Follow the link in the description. So, okay, I think personally, if they made Outlast 2 a VR game, that would actually, if I'm running VR, because you guys saw IGN put a video out of them playing Paranormal Activity, the VR game. People freaking out. It didn't even look that scary, but I just think that I think we can watch it and be like, what's the deal? It's not even that scary. But I think that total immersion, because you got to remember sound, sight, everything. You're in that place. I mean, yeah, that'd probably freak me out a little
I
bit.
remember playing PT, which was that Silent Hill trailer, or demo that came out on the PS4.
I wanted to play that. I don't have a PS4, but
Well, it's
I
not
wanted
on
to,
there anymore. They pulled it, but just having headphones in and controlling the person, it's so immersive that it's so much more intense.
Dude, now
and I couldn't imagine having the mask on, the VR mask.
Now that gameplay trailer was terrifying. I
Yes.
watched it and I was like, oh God.
the gameplay was also terrifying.
Are
It
they
was-
are they not making that game now?
No,
Did they pull
no.
it? And that was they had
Well, that was a Kojima.
Yeah, they had
and
Norm-
kind of broke.
they had
broke
Norman
ties.
Reedus, right?
Yep.
And he was
and
yeah.
then
That's right.
Guillermo del Toro was the director.
What?
So it was
Yeah.
why do things like this die?
I don't know.
I'm looking at you, Halo movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you, and you can say Forward Unto Dawn. Was it? No. I want a theatrical.
legit.
It was
Enjoyed
great.
it.
Forward Unto Dawn was great.
Now it's dumb. I never saw it.
That's for you, Jeff, right there.
Maybe devil's advocate
We're gonna get
for this
ridiculed
one.
by G1 on Xbox later.
No, it's all dumb. Everything's dumb, man.
Excuse me. Moving on, a couple other things we won't spend a lot of time on. Cuphead gameplay came out. Now, I've seen Cuphead gameplay. give me a release date, because just shut up and take my money, because it is an old school platformer. You can play obviously couch co-op with a friends, what it looks like, and it's a shooter, and it looks like you're in a 1930s 40s Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful. There's something about that game that, because we were talking before we started the podcast how it was announced last year E3, they gave it a name, but I remember literally seeing gameplay, if I'm not mistaken, like a small snippet of gameplay when they were literally talking about Xbox One on launch, or maybe like a year after the Xbox One came out.
It was a while back. Yeah,
it was a while back, and I'm like, man, I want to play that game because it just looks so very cool. And that goes back to our conversation last week, how couch co-op is gone. But I see those. I saw Ryan McCaffrey and whoever from IGN playing that game together, and you're like, oh yes. Yeah. And it looks like a stick shooter, because if you saw the finger is it's going up and down, and it's multi-directional. And so I'm thinking that, if you never played a true stick shooter, they can be a little bit difficult to get the hang of. So, but yeah, anybody else excited about Cuphead like I am?
I just love how different it looks. I think that's why a lot of people are excited about it, because no one's seen a game like that before, or at least I haven't. Just how
that art style is very new.
Yeah,
I mean the gameplay isn't completely new, but it's very, very old. You don't see that anymore. So,
yeah.
You've seen some stuff that like tries to imitate that old cartoon. That is a cartoon. Like it is. Like there's none of that weird, like, sort of, I don't know if you can have an uncanny valley of something looking like another fake thing. But like they had the Transformers game that came out recently that looked like an 80s cartoon a little bit, but it was in 3D, so it was a little harder to do.
I almost rented that out of Redbox the other night.
Really good things about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I really want to play it because of that. You're right. This is not a cell-shaded game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because here's the deal. How much would I kill, about to nerd alert here, how much would I kill for a Dragon Ball Z game that literally looked like the cartoon and not a cell-shaded version of itself? But once again, this is a 2D shooter, not a 3D. Because I thought Dragon Ball Z, oh gosh, and I can't remember the Xenoverse. I thought was really good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean,
really
Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
Yeah, I was about to say Budokai.
Yeah, come on now. Hey, Dragon Ball Z Budokai on the PS2, man. Woo, I played the crap out of that game, to be honest with you.
Nah, it was dumb.
Everything's dumb. Everything's dumb. You know what? I would put this. I was going to put this next one as like the coup de grace announcement, but I'm not, because I'm so excited about the last one we're going to talk about. Borderlands 3 got announced. No gameplay, I don't think, or anything. But just like, hey,
haven't played
it's an
first or second one.
You haven't played. Borderlands 1 was literally free. Did you pick it up when it was free?
I did. It doesn't mean I'm going to play it.
Go play that game and get through it, because Borderlands 1, me and you are the Borderlands fans in the group.
Yeah,
here, Mike.
out of the group.
Yeah, go play 1, get through it. It's different. It's difficult. Borderlands 2 is awesome. You can definitely and here's a sad admission on my part. Borderlands 2 was the game that I was like neck deep in when the Xbox One came out, and so I got to the very end and never finished that game, and that's sad. And I want to go back and do it, but now I don't think it's backwards compatible. I can go pick it up for my 360 again, but yeah, literally
they have it on the Xbox One now. The Handsome Collection that has the second and the third one,
don't they?
So,
and I've heard the Handsome Collection is a must get if you enjoyed that.
It looks so good on the Xbox One. It's straight 60 frames per second. Like one of the few games I've seen a remaster that it's like noticeably
I'm
much
going
better.
Home and buying this.
It's great, man. Yeah, my wife and I think I mentioned that we play that game before. Yeah. We play the co-op because it's one of the few that has couch co-op. But it's like we were really into Destiny for a while. I know, Matt, you really like The Division. Yeah. That type of game, to me, originated with Borderlands. I think that was one of the first kind of RPG first-person shooter games. I'd be interested to see. Maybe they make it into that. I mean, there's no details yet. Maybe they make it into an online game where there's a little bit more co-op between you and your friends.
Yeah, but you know what I love about Borderlands, dude? It was that basic, and I guess it was the game to me that best combined what I would call, and maybe I may sound stupid when I say this, but it best combined like a Halo and a Skyrim for me, where I love the fact that I can go pick up 20 quests and then just go do them all. And I don't have to do this. Like any game that I can go pick up a bunch of side quests, they will track them for me. I can go do a bunch of missions and then come back into the main mission and let's be honest, be beefed up. Excuse me, be beefed up beyond all relief. Mm-hmm. And then like, well, the camp. That's what Black Flag was. Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh, yeah.
I think I did the entire quote unquote, I'm making air fingers here, campaign in like 2 hours because I went and liberated every single
I did the
island.
same thing, man.
Dude, I got
Oh, yeah.
every fortress. Fortresses that I had no business trying to fight.
Yeah.
I went in and I was like, if it takes me all night, I'm getting this freaking fortress. And so I took it and then I'd play the game. So Borderlands is that for me. I do a whole bunch of side missions.
Definitely. And it's one of those things where I like, RPG games. I like the old like turn-based ones where you level up and you do all that stuff. I even like MMO style games where you kind of have to grind a bit. But the nice thing about Borderlands and Destiny, all those, is the gameplay itself is fun.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then you also feel like you're progressing, which is a great feeling when you're playing a game.
I have a fun Borderlands story. Trevor and I, we were
just pause. I'm really excited for your story. By the way, Trevor, who surprisingly doesn't like Borderlands, I cannot get him to play it. G3, who's usually on the show here, I cannot get Trevor to play Borderlands. Keep going.
That is because of this story. So we're like we're teenagers. We're playing games. We're living together at this point. So we were just at GameStop for something. We were going to look at something or pre-order something, and he was just like, "Man, we need a co-op game. We just need a game we can play together."
Yeah, of course.
And Borderlands had just came out, and it was $60, and he was like, "You know what, dude? We're getting Borderlands." I was like, "Hell yeah!" So he grabs Borderlands. We hadn't played it, hadn't really looked at anything for it. Slapped it down. We knew it was couch co-op, so we got it. Got it home. We played it for a couple hours, and he was like, "I hate this game, and I'm never playing it again."
God, dude. Well,
Plus, I think Borderlands split vertically.
Yes,
so
the first one did, and it was so weird.
which
so
makes
bad.
sense,
Back
but
in
is
the day.
horrible. It's just the
That
worst.
was bad.
That was when TVs were more square.
not
That's how old that game is.
not everybody had an
Yeah.
HD TV
And
at
the
the
funny
time.
thing is, it makes more sense to have it split vertically with a super wide TV. But the TVs are never like quite about twice as wide as they are
Right,
tall.
exactly.
So it's always
Right.
like a long, skinny thing. It's really, really distracting.
That
Yeah,
game,
man.
I mean, that game has its flaws. It can get a little repetitive. It can get a little, boring
absolutely.
from time to time. But it's a fun idea.
Yeah, but I did enjoy Borderlands. I ended up playing through the whole thing by myself,
Right.
and eventually
So
ended up
good.
finishing it way down the line. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I like just the lots of guns and lots of enemies,
Right.
and just the it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just fun to drive around and shoot.
And not
stuff.
to get into the science of it, I think the reason that we hate split screen vertically is because your eyes are wandering on the horizon, and you're always wandering into your. God, it's not my screen. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're doing horizontally, you can look the whole. And I'm moving out of the microphone because I'm literally spinning in my chair, like people can see what I'm doing. But you're looking the whole horizontal line, and then vertical. I'm like, wait, oh God, I can't. That's your screen.
Yeah.
So messy.
Yeah. Plus, we've been trained our entire existence.
Oh yeah, to do
look
horizontal
in the
split
center
screen.
of the screen.
Yeah,
So-
that's like I didn't know. This next game we're about to talk about, Rocket League, does the same thing. Rocket League, when you couch it, it does vertical, but you can split it. I made that little noise to signify you can click the option and you can take it horizontal.
It's good.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Universal
And
sign.
bringing up the final topic here, which I'm super excited about. They announced it back in I don't know, probably I think 2012. Psyonix, I believe, is the company that came out and was like, "Hey, Rocket League Hoops version coming soon," and we're like, "Okay, it's gonna be here for March Madness." It's not here for March Madness. Okay, college basketball's over, and it's still not out here. And now we're in the NBA Finals. Guys, I don't keep up with sports. NBA
Playoffs are in the first round right now.
Okay, so playoffs in the first round, so they did come out for the NBA playoffs. But by the way, basketball season is almost over. But regardless, Rocket League Hoops is coming out Tuesday, and I'm really excited about it. Rocket League has become a game. If you guys are out there and hadn't played Rocket League, for the love of God, do yourself a favor. Go roll quarters in your house. Go look under your couch cushions. Go literally save up your Burger King money, whatever. Go spend $20 and buy Rocket League, because it has, I think, been one of my favorite games on the Xbox One, strictly because it is just so much fun. It sounds stupid. Little cars hitting a big ball. Sounds really dumb. Soccer with RC cars, what everybody calls it. Yeah. But it is so much fun. And the Hoops version comes out where you're playing basketball instead of soccer. They already had hockey in the defense of the game. It's kind of the same thing.
Hockey wasn't great, but basketball at least looks a little different.
Right. I liked hockey personally.
How is hockey different than regular Rocket League?
Well, just because of the ball was flat. All right, the ball was a puck. All right, but I actually enjoyed it just because I played better with the hockey. I could take it up the wall, and really I could just get wall shots, cheap shots, really easily. But the Hoops version looks really interesting. I haven't seen. Have they put out gameplay at all? All we have is that literally
actually I did
that
see a
one
clip
Twitter picture.
of,
I think think is all.
No,
I've seen.
I've seen a little bit of gameplay, and it looks really fun.
Yeah.
Looks like it's harder to defend because
Yeah.
you don't have the option of just basically standing in front of the
Well,
wall.
Skidar 120,
We'll
Eric
send Eric
Armstrong's
for
going to
it,
have a
man.
problem. Yeah, we play with Skidar all the time. He's goalie extreme, man. So
Yeah,
good.
man. He's the best.
And Richard will have a new excuse to be bad at goalie.
Oh,
Love you,
It's
Richard.
okay.
Richard,
I'm better on offense.
You've been so
anyway.
silent over here. Are you excited
No.
for Rocket League's hoops, Richard?
Oh yeah, I was gonna agree with you, Will. You know, do what you can to get Rocket League. Sell your blood if you have to. You know, because it's that much fun.
Sorry, I
it's just
spit water all over
$20.
the
Don't
table
spit up
here.
on the soundboard, man.
Sorry.
I mean, if you sell your blood, you'll have enough to pay for Rocket League, and you'll have enough left over to get something else. So there you go. It's a win-win.
Okay.
So, but
I
other
feel
than
like
that,
Richard knows way too much about the market price of
I-
blood.
I really don't.
did.
I
I think Richard's walking up in like those Red Cross vans, like, yo. But how much though? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, donate. I mean, how much you gonna donate to
That
me?
O
already
negative,
got a
man. It's
tat
that
on
mine.
primo
Actually-
blood.
I'm gonna need more than a cookie and some orange juice, people.
It's clean, I promise.
no, but you're the one that convinced me to get Rocket League. I was pushing it off the whole time.
Just
But
busy
I'm actually
buying,
having a lot more fun than that.
Halo DLC.
Buying rec
Right.
packs, man.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
Buying
Oh
Halo.
my gosh. I've been actually having more fun playing Rocket League than I have been playing Halo recently.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I think it's fun because you get all your friends together.
Yeah, that's
And it's just
Well, anyway.
we're not going to play a sports game together because we're not those kind of guys. I'm sure there are lots of guys out there who play Madden with your friends, whatever. But for us, it is a sports-esque. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh man, you know, it's just
it's an arcade style. It's easy to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah,
You
we
don't
should
have
meet
to think
halfway.
about it.
it is dumb,
good.
stupid fun.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody's getting mad except Jeff. And dude,
The ever-present exception to that rule.
Jeff Easterling has been a common thread in today's podcast. But yeah, Jeff gets angry, calling you out, Jeff, and you can't say anything because this is pre-recorded.
We love you, though.
We love you though.
Nah, it's dumb.
It's very relaxed and very fun to play. But I'm excited about Hoops Mode. I think it's going to be good. Can't wait for it to come out. I'm sure Tuesday night we'll all be doing it. So, and we've talked about possibly, if we have the equipment in time, recording the video, stream, like maybe not even streaming because God, that takes that's probably more time than I got to stream for a little bit. But maybe some pre-recorded gameplay and see what it looks like, right, Rich?
Right, yeah. I'd say, check out our YouTube page where we could,
Yeah, no promises, but we'll see. So, okay, Rocket League Hoops coming out soon. It's gonna be awesome. Lots of fun announcements from PAX and other sources around the.
Also, can I say real quick?
Oh yeah,
I love PAX. PAX was my first convention, PAX East, back in like 2010, 11. Wonderful, wonderful convention. If you ever get a chance to go to PAX East or Prime or South now, I think they do in Houston, do it. It is one of the best conventions out there. So
That's dumb.
Little plug. It is also dumb.
Like, nah.
No, it actually is
I think
cool.
we need bios, and Mike
great,
just says,
man.
"Nah, everything's dumb."
Nah, man.
Nah. But you know what's funny? I'm jealous.
Life is pain.
I've actually life is pain. I'm actually jealous. I've never been to a conference before, but you know what I do have, Matt?
What you got?
I still have that grunt that you gave me, that plush grunt from Halo
Good
Fest,
stuff.
dude. That you gave me, man. It's somewhere in this office full of toys, somewhere, if not at my home. So it's somewhere around here. But I got my plush grunt that Matt Easterling gave me when Halo Reach. I think Reach came out, or 4. Maybe it was 4.
I'm
I think
pretty sure
Halo
it was 4.
It was right before 4
right,
came out.
right before 4. So anyway, well, yeah, go check out PAX if you ever can. I don't think do they do Halo Fest. They don't do Halo Fest anymore.
No,
do
I
they?
think that was a one-time thing they did for
Oh,
the
man.
10th anniversary.
Well, that sucks.
It was
I wish.
wonderful.
Do
Hopefully
people
they-
even like
they
that
will
game
do it.
anymore?
Dude,
over here.
No. Life,
No.
Mike
Life-
throwing shade.
Listen to
Life.
everything, man. No.
life is pain. That's right.